Ravi was not like the others. He lived in a small city on Earth, working as a cleaner in a big space tech company. People passed by him every day but never looked at him properly. Some laughed behind his back. Others ignored him like he didn't exist. Even at work, when he fixed broken machines or helped when no one asked, he was called a nobody. But Ravi had a quiet strength. He loved fixing things. Old radios, broken computers, and junk machines. He collected them all in his tiny room. Every evening after work, he climbed up the hill behind his building. There, he sat under the stars, looked at the sky, and dreamed. One night, everything changed. It was a clear night, the stars shining like diamonds. Ravi had brought an old radio he found in the garbage. It had missing parts, but he had spent 3 days repairing it with spare wires and pieces he saved. He turned it on, expecting only static. But then, something strange happened. The radio crackled, hissed, and suddenly clicked. A strange sound came through. Not music. Not voice. It was a pattern. Beep, beep, beep. Silence. Beep, beep. Long beep. Ravi leaned in, his heart beating fast. "This is not from Earth," he whispered. He quickly connected the radio to his tablet. He opened an old program he had written to decode signals. The sound repeated, and after a few minutes, the screen started filling with strange symbols, then numbers, then words. Not English, not any human language, but somehow Ravi understood. Suddenly, a sharp light flashed from the radio, and everything went quiet. Ravi felt dizzy. His vision blurred, and a soft voice echoed inside his head. But no one was there. Core mind activated, the voice said. Interface found. Neural link complete. Ravi fell back, eyes wide open. What is this?" he asked. "I am Core Mind," the voice replied. "You have unlocked ancient knowledge. You are now connected to the core. Do you accept the responsibility?" Ravi didn't know what to say. He looked around, but the hill was empty. The stars above seemed to shine brighter. The radio was cold and silent now. "Is this real?" "Yes," said the voice gently. "You are chosen. Not by accident, but by chance. You touch the pattern with heart and mind. Now the gate is open." Ravi stood up slowly. He felt different. His body was the same, but his thoughts were faster. He could feel the wind like never before. He looked at a tree nearby and somehow knew how tall it was, how much water it had used, and how strong its roots were. "What's happening to me?" "You are beginning to see," Cormine said. "I will guide you. But you must learn, and you must choose wisely. Power is easy. Wisdom is rare." Ravi walked back home that night in silence. The streets were quiet. The city slept, but his mind was full of lights and numbers. He didn't sleep. He sat at his desk, looked at his machines, and suddenly understood them completely. He picked up a broken chip and fixed it in seconds. He rewired a dead tablet without thinking. By morning, he had built a small floating light using magnets and energy cells from trash. The next day at work, Ravi was quiet as always. But something had changed. When a machine failed on the factory floor, he stepped forward. "I can fix it," he said softly. The workers laughed. "You, stay in your corner." But Ravi walked up, opened the machine, and in 10 seconds, it was running smoothly. The floor manager stared in shock. "How did you?" "I just saw the problem," Ravi said and walked away. People began whispering. "That strange boy, that loser, how did he do that?" But Ravi didn't care. He wasn't doing it for them. He was learning. Each night, Cormine taught him more: how to bend energy, how to understand gravity, how atoms worked. He built small machines, tiny floating cubes, invisible heat shields, and once even made a broken toy walk again without batteries. Then, something happened. 3 nights later, Earth's sky changed. A sudden meteor shower came, bright lights racing across the sky. Everyone ran out to see. But Cormind whispered, "This is not natural. One will hit the town." Ravi's eyes widened. "What do I do?" "You know what to do," said Cormind. Ravi closed his eyes. He reached out not with hands, but with thought. He felt the sky, the fire, the burning stone falling. He moved it. The meteor slowed, bent, and then dissolved in the air, far from the city. People shouted in joy. "It missed us. We're safe." But no one knew that it missed because Ravi stopped it. He stood alone on the hill, watching the sky. His heart was calm. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel like a loser. He felt like something more. "You have taken your first step," said Cormind. "But more will come. This is only the beginning." Ravi sat alone on the rooftop of his building, watching the stars again. But this time, everything felt different. His eyes could now see things others could not. Lines of energy moved across the sky like quiet rivers. Lights shimmered where others saw only darkness. It had been 3 days since he stopped the meteor. That he told no one. The world thought it was luck. But Ravi knew better. He had used his mind, his thoughts, to bend energy and slow the burning rock before it could strike. The town. Cormind spoke softly inside his mind as always. "You are learning quickly. But knowledge without control is dangerous." Ravi nodded. "Then teach me," and Cormind did. Every night Ravi trained. He learned to see sound, to hear heat, to sense pressure in the air. He could move small objects without touching them, just by focusing his mind. A metal spoon, a glass marble, even a piece of cloth. But it wasn't easy. His nose bled when he pushed too hard. His head spun after long practice. Cormind warned him again and again. "Your body is not made for this. You must grow slowly, or you will break." Still, Ravi pushed forward. He didn't want power for fame. He didn't want to become a hero. He just wanted to help. One evening, while walking home, Ravi saw an old man collapse in the middle of the street. People gathered, but no one moved. "Call someone." A woman shouted, "We don't know what to do." Another said. Ravi stepped forward. He knelt beside the man. The man's chest was still. His eyes were closed. Ravi placed his hand near the heart, not touching, but close enough. He closed his eyes. Cormind guided him. He felt the heart, weak and slow. He focused, sending a tiny pulse of energy, just enough to wake it up. The man gasped. His chest rose. The people around stared. "He's breathing. How did you? What just happened?" Ravi stood up quietly. "He'll be okay now." Then he walked away. The next morning, news spread about a mysterious boy who saved an old man with just a touch. No one knew who he was. No one had a name. But they began calling him the Unknown Hand. At work, people looked at Ravi differently. Some smiled, some stared. A few tried to ask questions, but he stayed quiet. That night, Cormind spoke again. "You are being noticed. Your actions bring light, but also shadows. Be careful." Ravi nodded. "I understand." But things were about to change. Far above Earth, in the blackness of space, a satellite picked up something strange. A space agency noticed an energy wave coming from Earth, a type of wave no human had created before. It matched no known signal. In a clean lab, deep underground, a group of scientists watched the readings. "Where's it coming from?" one asked. "A small city," another replied. "It appeared 3 nights ago during the meteor incident." "This can't be human-made," said the lead scientist. "It's too advanced." They sent a message to the Global Space Council. Soon, eyes from above began watching Ravi's town. Quiet drones flew high above. Satellites changed their orbit. And still, Ravi had no idea. One night, as Ravi trained on the hill, a drone flew near, silent, invisible to normal eyes. But Ravi felt it. He turned, his eyes glowing slightly. "There's something watching me," Cormind responded. "Yes, a machine. Human, but not kind." Ravi raised his hand. The drone froze in the air. He reached out with his mind, touched the circuits, and shut it down gently. It fell into the grass without a sound. He walked to it, picked it up, and opened its panel. A tiny red light blinked. Ravi smiled. So now they know. But something inside him was calm. He didn't feel angry. He didn't feel afraid. The next day, a group of men in suits came to his workplace. They asked questions, looked at everyone. But they didn't find him. Ravi had already quit his job that morning. He had a new mission now. He spent his days building tools, clean energy devices, medical bots, and learning machines. He gave them to schools, clinics, and homes. No one knew where they came from. They just arrived at night, working perfectly. People called it the miracle tech. Some believed it was from the stars. Others thought it was a gift from the earth itself. But Ravi never appeared. Until one day, disaster struck again. A tall tower in the city caught fire. A family was trapped on the 20th floor. Fire trucks arrived but couldn't reach them in time. People screamed below, watching the flames rise. And then Ravi walked through the crowd. He looked up at the tower. His eyes narrowed. He raised his hand, and a stream of cold wind rose from the ground, wrapping around the fire like a spiral. The flames faded, turning into mist. Then he floated, floated into the air, rising level by level, until he reached the trapped family. With a wave, a platform of light appeared. They stepped on it, and he brought them down gently. The crowd was silent. When his feet touched the ground, a child from the family ran to him. "Thank you, Uncle," Ravi smiled. "Stay safe, little one." Then he turned and walked away. But this time, the people followed him. "Who are you?" "Please wait. What's your name?" Ravi stopped. He turned around. His voice was quiet but clear. "I'm just someone who decided to stop watching and start helping." And then he vanished. News of the boy who saved a family from the fire spread like lightning. All over the city, people talked about him. Some called him an angel. Some said he was a ghost. Others believed he was sent by the stars. The name the Unknown Hand appeared in newspapers, TV channels, and internet videos, but only a few knew the truth. It was Ravi, the same quiet boy people once called useless, the same boy who fixed old machines in a small room. Now, the world wanted to find him. Governments, space agencies, and even secret groups started searching. Satellites scanned the city. Drones flew above rooftops. Strange cars parked near his old building. But Ravi was no longer easy to find. He had moved underground. Literally. With Cormind's help, Ravi had built a secret lab inside an old, unused metro tunnel. There, he worked day and night. The lab was simple, but full of light and energy. Machines floated in the air. Screens showed the sky, the earth, and deep space. Cormind guided him. "You must now prepare the world. Teach them. Help them grow. But do not force them." Ravi nodded. "I understand." So he began his real mission. He created small energy boxes that could power a house for years. He sent them to villages with no electricity. He built learning tablets that taught children in their own languages. He left them at schools in poor areas. He designed healing pods that could repair broken bones and weak hearts. He placed them quietly in old hospitals. Every gift had a small symbol, a circle with a dot in the middle. No name, no face. People called it Earth's blessing. The world started to change. In one country, a village that had no light for decades now shined at night. In another place, a child who had never walked took her first steps after using one of the healing pods. And in schools, students who once had no books now learned science, math, and languages from smart tablets. But Ravi stayed in the shadows, One night, while monitoring the sky, Ravi noticed something strange. A ship, not human, moving fast toward Earth. "Cormind, is that?" "Yes," the voice replied. "They have noticed your actions. This ship is a scout. They belong to the Zarn, an ancient race who believe only the strong should survive." "Are they dangerous?" Ravi asked. "Yes," Cormind said. "They will test Earth. And you." Ravi took a deep breath. "Then I'll face them." The Zarn ship entered Earth's orbit quietly. It was small, black, and fast. No one on Earth saw it, except Ravi. He waited for them on the same hill where he first heard the alien signal. The ship landed without a sound. A ramp opened, and a tall silver figure stepped out. It had no mouth, no eyes, just smooth metal skin and 4 long arms. "I am Vok of the Zarn," the being said through a translator. "Who commands this world?" "No one commands Earth," Ravi said calmly. "We live, we learn, we grow." Vok tilted his head. "You used the core signal. That knowledge is forbidden for your kind." "Knowledge is not forbidden," Ravi replied, "only feared." The alien stepped closer. "Then show me your strength, human." Ravi raised his hand. The ground beneath him rose, forming a platform. The air crackled with energy. Vok raised his arms, sending a beam of pure light toward Ravi. But Ravi held up his hand, and the light turned into smoke. They battled in silence. Vok flew into the Feywind air, sending waves of pressure. Ravi floated calmly, cutting through the waves with thought. Lightning cracked. Trees bent. The ground shook. People in the town below saw the lights in the sky, but did not know what was happening. After 10 minutes, Vok stopped. His body cracked and sparked. "You are not like the others," he said. "No," Ravi answered. "I chose to protect, not to rule." Vok looked at the stars. "The Zarn will return, stronger. Then we'll be ready," Ravi said. "Together." Vok nodded once, then vanished in a flash of light. The ship disappeared with him. The next day, something amazing happened. In the sky, all over the world, a glowing symbol appeared. People stopped to look. Children pointed. News cameras showed it live. Then a message played on phones, TVs, and radios in every language. "This is your world. Protect it. Share it. Grow it. You are not alone anymore." The voice was soft, calm. It was Ravi's voice, but he still didn't show his face. Ravi returned to his lab. Cormind spoke. "You handled the test well." "They will come again," Ravi said. "Yes," Cormind replied. "But now, Earth believes in hope, and hope is stronger than fear." Ravi walked to the edge of his lab, looking at the large screen showing Earth from space. Cities glowing, forests shining, clouds moving like rivers. "I used to be invisible," he whispered. "Now I'm a part of something bigger." In a nearby city, a small group of children painted this symbol on walls. A boy said, "The unknown hand is real, he helps us." In a school, a teacher held up a learning tablet and smiled. "Whoever sent this, thank you." In a hospital, a nurse watched a patient heal inside a pod and wiped a tear. "This is magic," she said. No one saw Ravi, but his presence was everywhere. High above Earth, beyond the moon, something moved. A fleet of ships, black, sharp, and silent, appeared out of nothing. They belonged to the Zarn Empire. Each ship was large, full of weapons and soldiers. They had come to test Earth again. But this time, not with words, with force. Inside the lead ship sat the commander of the fleet, a tall alien named Kale. His skin was silver like steel. His eyes glowed red. He looked at a screen showing Earth. "This planet is young," he said. "Yet one of them has accessed the core. That is a threat." Another officer spoke. "Shall we destroy the planet?" Kale shook his head. "No, we will land. Show them their place. If they kneel, we teach. If they fight, we crush." He gave the order, "Prepare for landing." Ravi sat inside his secret lab, watching the sky. The moment the fleet appeared, Cormind warned him. "They are here," Cormind said. "This is the real test." Ravi's face was calm, but his heart beat faster. "How many?" he asked. "6 ships. Thousands of soldiers. They will not listen like Vok." Ravi stood up. "Then I will not face them alone." Ravi had been preparing. Over the last few weeks, he had found special people, quiet minds, kind hearts, strong spirits, people like he once was. He taught them what he had learned. He gave them pieces of Cormind's knowledge, just enough to awaken their own strength. He had chosen 5. Zara, a blind girl who could feel sound. Noel, a farmer who could shape metal with his thoughts. Byron, a teacher who could heal with his hands. May, a dancer who could move faster than light. Omar, a builder who spoke to machines. Together, they were not soldiers. They were protectors. They called themselves the Light Circle. As the Zarn ships entered Earth's sky, people looked up in fear. Dark clouds formed. The ships moved like shadows. Buildings shook. Animals ran. Lights flickered. Kale's voice echoed through every screen, radio, and speaker. "People of Earth, surrender the core holder. Bow, and we may let you live. Resist, and you will be destroyed." Panic spread. In one city, people ran toward shelters. In another, leaders gathered to decide what to do. But no one had an answer. Then in the center of the largest city, a light appeared. Ravi stood on top of a tall building. The wind blew through his hair. His eyes were steady. He spoke. "I am the one you seek, but I will not surrender. Earth is not alone. We are ready." Behind him, the light circle appeared, each of them glowing with their own power. The people watched from windows, rooftops, and screens. Ravi raised his hand. A wall of light formed around the city, clear, bright, and strong. It covered homes, schools, hospitals, everything. Kale watched from his ship. "So he thinks he can protect them all." He gave the order, "Attack." The sky lit up. The Zarn ships fired beams of red energy. The light wall held strong. Ravi's hands shook, but he didn't stop. Zara closed her eyes and sent a wave of sound that broke enemy drones. Noel pulled metal from the ground and formed giant shields. May flashed through the air, faster than the eye. Omar controlled defense turrets with his thoughts. Byron ran to injured people and healed them in seconds. It wasn't a war. It was a defense. The people of Earth watched in awe. The same boy they once ignored was now standing between them and destruction. Kale grew angry. He stepped out of his ship and floated down to the city. His body glowed with dark energy. "Face me, human," he said. Ravi stepped forward. "I will not fight with hate," he said. "But I will not let you hurt my world." Kale charged. The ground cracked, air shook. But Ravi stood tall. He moved with grace, not rage. Their battle was like lightning. Punches that moved the air. Kicks that shook the sky. Beams of light and dark crashing again and again. At last, Ravi closed his eyes and whispered, "Enough." He raised both hands, and the energy around him changed. It became calm, soft, warm. Kale froze. His body trembled. "What is this?" he asked. "It's not power," Ravi said. "It's peace." A wave of light washed over Kale. His red eyes faded. He fell to his knees. "You are not weak," he whispered. "No," Ravi said. "We're human. That means we rise." Kale's ship received no command. The other ships paused. One by one. They turned and left, silent, defeated. The sky cleared. The clouds faded. Sunlight touched the earth again. People came out of their homes. They looked at the sky. Then they looked at Ravi and the light circle, and they cheered. The sound was loud, full of joy. "Ravi, the unknown hand. Earth is safe." But Ravi just smiled. He looked at his team. "It's not about me," he said. "It's about all of us." That night, across the world, children slept peacefully. Elders smiled. Even animals rested. Quietly, and in the sky, the symbol appeared again, brighter than ever. The message came once more. You are not alone. The earth is strong. The earth is ready. The world had changed. After the Zarn fleet left, and Ravi stood tall in front of the world, people began to believe in something greater. They no longer saw Earth as a small, forgotten planet. They saw it as a place of strength, unity, and hope. But with change came questions. Who was Ravi? Where did he come from? And most importantly, could humans be trusted with such power? In cities across the globe, the symbol appeared on walls, shirts, books, and even flags. Children drew it in their notebooks. Schools spoke about the unknown hand during morning prayers. Some people called Ravi a guardian. Others called him a teacher. Yet, in high buildings and secret rooms, powerful people sat in meetings. One man said, "This Ravi has too much power. What if he turns against us?" Another woman replied, "He saved the planet. Shouldn't we thank him?" A third man added, "Or study him. Maybe we can take that power." So not all hearts were grateful. Some were afraid. Others were jealous. Meanwhile, Ravi had returned to his hidden lab. The light circle trained with him every day, not to fight, but to guide. They studied, meditated, and learned how to share knowledge wisely. Ravi spoke to them one evening, his voice calm. The Zarn came to destroy, but we showed them peace. Now the next step is harder. What is it? Zara asked. We must help people rise on their own, not with force. Not by being heroes, but by lighting small fires of wisdom. The team nodded. They understood. So, Ravi set out new devices called seed boxes. Each one could teach farming, energy use, water purification, and even simple healing. They were easy to use and needed no electricity. He dropped them in villages, mountains, and islands. People used them with joy. In Africa, dry lands turned green again. In South Asia, sick children healed without medicine. In cold places, homes warmed with clean heat. Still, Ravi stayed out of sight, but trouble was growing. A group of world leaders formed a private council called the Watchers. They believed no one should have more power than governments, not even someone kind like Ravi. They spoke secretly. One said, "He shows no signs of violence now. But what about tomorrow?" Another added, "We must prepare a backup in case he becomes a threat." A scientist from their group, Dr. Marn, said, "Let me study the core energy. If we copy it, we can build our own guardians." They sent a team to search for Ravi, but Ravi already knew. Cormine spoke to him in the lab. The Watchers are planning to control the core. They want to create power without purpose. Ravi sighed. "I never wanted control. I only wanted to help." Then, "Help by choosing your next step," Cormine said. "Teach humans not just how to build, but how to become wise." That night, Ravi sent a new message to the world. It was short and simple. The future is not in the hands of the few. It lives in every heart that chooses peace, learning, and kindness. I am not your leader, I am your mirror. The next morning, something shocking happened. Ravi walked into a public square in a large city without his cloak, without floating, without light around him. Just a normal boy in normal clothes. People recognized him slowly. Whispers grew into gasps. "That's him. Is it really the unknown hand?" "Ravi!" He raised his hand gently. "I am just a human, like you." A child stepped forward and asked, "Are you magic?" Ravi smiled. "No, I just learned to listen to the world. You can too." That simple moment became the most shared video in Earth's history, but not all reactions were kind. The Watchers panicked. "He's out in the open. This is our chance. Send the strike team, now." A group of machines called Hunters was launched. These flying robots were built in secret using stolen energy data from the Zarn battle. Their goal, capture Ravi. They arrived quickly. In the city square, People began to run. The sky darkened. The machines hovered, metal wings buzzing. Ravi looked up. He did not move. A voice came from the lead robot. "Ravi, you must come with us, for the safety of the world." He replied, "I am not your enemy." But the robots fired. Bright red beams flew toward him. People screamed. Then Zara appeared, blocking the beam with a wall of sound. May dashed in and pulled people away at super speed. Noel used his hands to bend the robot's metal arms. The light circle had arrived. In just minutes. The machines were broken, but not destroyed. Ravi walked to them, placed his hand on their cores, and whispered, "Sleep." All of them shut down. Then Ravi turned to the cameras that had recorded everything. "I will not fight humans, not even when they fear me. But I will protect this planet until it learns to protect itself." Back in their secret base, the Watchers were silent. They had failed. Not because Ravi was too strong, but because he refused to become a weapon. Some of them left the council that day. Others stayed quiet. Dr. Marn, the scientist, looked at Ravi's image on the screen and said, "He is not just a boy. He is a reflection of what we could be, if we stopped being afraid." Later that night, Ravi sat on the hill again, where it all began. The stars were bright. The air was soft. Core Mind spoke gently. "You passed the second test." "What was the test?" Ravi asked. "To stay human, even when you have the power not to be." For the first time in Earth's history, humans believed in something beyond fear. They had seen Ravi turn away from power, even when he could have ruled. He chose peace over pride, kindness over control. Many began to follow his example. Small schools were built in poor places. Clean energy spread to dark towns. People started sharing more, fighting less. But in the far corners of the galaxy, someone was watching. He was not pleased. His name was Lord Naxon. He was the supreme ruler of the Zarn Empire, a being older than stars. Naxon was not like Vok or Kale. He was stronger, crueler, and believed in only one thing: control through fear. When Naxon heard that a human had stopped his ships, he became angry. A soft creature from a young world dares to touch the core? He roared, "Then Earth will fall, and I will crush this Ravi myself." He sent a full invasion fleet, 200 warships, 10 times larger than before. Each ship carried weapons strong enough to destroy cities. His goal was clear: end Earth's hope. On Earth, Ravi already felt it. He stood on the rooftop of a tall tower, looking at the stars. The sky above seemed darker. The stars no longer twinkled. Core Mind spoke inside his mind. "They are coming. This is the final test." Ravi nodded. "And I am ready." The light circle stood behind him: Zara, Noel, May, Byron, and Omar. Each one had grown stronger through training and experience, but they all looked at Ravi for guidance. "Do we fight again?" Noel asked. "No," Ravi said calmly. "We protect. But this time, we won't stand alone." Ravi had prepared for this. All over the world, he had quietly built a network, small groups of learners, builders, and protectors. Not warriors, but thinkers. They came from villages, towns, and cities. Many were young, some were old. Some could bend light, others could speak to machines. But all of them had heart. Ravi called them the Sky Hands. He sent a message across Earth: the final challenge is here. Not just for me, but for all of us. Not with anger, but with unity. Stand together, shine together. And the people answered. On the day the Zarn fleet arrived, the Earth did not panic. No one ran. No one screamed. Instead, people stood in silence, side by side, from mountains to seas. In cities and deserts, they held hands, they sang. They waited. Above, the sky opened. Dark ships blotted out the sun. Red lights glowed. Engines roared. Lord Naxon stood at the front of the lead ship. His voice echoed across the planet. "This world is mine now. Surrender or be erased." Ravi stepped forward. His voice was steady, soft, but strong. "We do not surrender. We protect, we create, we live." Naxon laughed. "Then feel my wrath." He pressed a button. Hundreds of energy beams shot down from the sky. But something happened. From the ground, light rose not from weapons, but from people. The sky hands had gathered in key points. Using the knowledge Ravi gave them, they formed light shields that covered the planet like a second skin. The beams hit. The shields held. The Earth remained safe. Angry, Naxon sent attack bots. Thousands of metal beasts dropped from the sky. But this time, the world was ready. In Africa, young farmers used energy gloves to push the bots back. In Japan, children who had trained under Zara used sound waves to confuse the machines. In South America, healers like Bayren brought injured animals and people back to life within minutes. In Europe, builders like Omar changed towers into defense beacons, and May, faster than lightning, flew across countries, stopping attacks before they began. Earth was no longer waiting to be saved. Earth had become strong. Finally, Naxon himself landed on the planet. He was huge, twice the size of a normal man. His body was made of dark stone and glowing fire. His voice shook buildings. "Ravi," he shouted, "face me." Ravi walked calmly through the crowd. The people stepped aside. He stood in front of Naxon, small but unafraid. "This planet is not yours," Ravi said. "And I am not your enemy, but I will not let you harm anyone." Naxon raised his hand, ready to strike, but Ravi didn't move. Instead, he spoke softly. "You rule through fear. I lead with trust. You destroy. We build. You are alone. We are together." Naxon struck. The ground cracked. Dust rose. But when the smoke cleared, Ravi stood unharmed. Around him, the light circle had formed a barrier of pure energy. Then, something even greater happened. The people of Earth, those without powers, without suits, without training, began to step forward. One by one, they stood with Ravi, a baker, a nurse, a farmer, a child. Naxon looked around and saw not fear but courage. He tried to strike again. But the core energy within Ravi pulsed brightly. Ravi lifted both hands. Enough. A wave of light spread from his body, touching Naxon. The alien dropped to his knees. The dark fire in his chest turned to soft blue. He looked up, confused. "What is this?" Ravi whispered. "Forgiveness." Naxon was silent. Then slowly he stood and walked back to his ship, the Zarn fleet. Seeing their leader defeated not by force, but by peace turned away. They vanished into space. The battle was over. That night, the Earth shined brighter than ever. Cities lit up with joy. Songs were sung. Fires were lit not in fear, but in celebration. Ravi stood once more on his hill. Zara sat beside him. "We won." Ravi smiled. "No, we just began." Cormine spoke one final time. "You passed the last test, not with power, but with heart. Your journey is complete." After the final battle, the world was changed forever. Ravi, once a quiet boy who no one noticed, had become a symbol of hope, but he never sought fame. He remained humble, always reminding people that the true power lived inside every human heart. In the weeks after the Zarn left, Ravi and the Light Circle traveled the world, not as rulers, but as teachers. They visited small villages, big cities, and faraway islands. They taught people how to care for the earth, how to build clean energy machines, and how to live together peacefully. Wherever they went, the symbol followed. It was no longer just a sign. It was a promise. People who once ignored Ravi now smiled when they saw him. Children asked him questions. Adults listened carefully. One day, in a small village, a boy asked Ravi, "How did you get so strong?" Ravi smiled gently. "I was never strong. I was just a nobody who chose to learn. When you learn, you grow. That was the secret. The world began to heal. Polluted rivers became clean. Empty fields grew crops. Cities planted trees. People worked together, sharing knowledge and kindness. Governments started to cooperate. Old conflicts softened. New friendships grew. Even the stars seemed to shine brighter. But Ravi knew the journey was not over. One evening, as he sat alone on his favorite hill, Cormine spoke softly. Your story will live on, Ravi, but the future belongs to those who come after. Ravi looked at the stars and smiled. Then I will teach them well. And he did. He helped create schools that taught not only science and math, but also kindness, respect, and courage. He helped build hospitals that healed not only bodies, but also minds. He helped design cities that lived in harmony with nature. Ravi's vision was clear. A world where no one was a loser, and everyone had the chance to shine. Years passed. The light circle grew. New protectors rose from every nation. They learned from Ravi's teachings and added their own. Earth became a place of peace, wisdom, and strength. And in the heart of it all was a simple truth. Power is not in weapons or machines. Power is in people when they choose to care, to learn, and to help each other. In the quiet of night, when the world slept, Ravi sometimes thought back to the boy who fixed old machines in a small room, to the lonely nights under the stars, to the first signal from the radio that changed everything. He smiled because he knew a nobody had changed the fate of many. And the legacy of that nobody would live forever.